I found my placement through a scheme the university set up called Boost. Originally, I had to pick 3 companies from a long list that I would be interested doing placement with. I then had to attend a formal interview where I could showcase my skills and tell them what I was interested in doing. From there, they placed me with a company that was best fitting to my skills. I got placed with a company called ISIS Arts, which is a visual media arts organisation whose ethos is to support artists and to facilitate international and intercultural exchanges and to engage as wide an audience as possible with artists and artworks. ISIS actively seek out and engage with artists of all backgrounds and cultures to produce work that explores identity and challenges prejudice. The company only has 3 employees on the payroll, and they are Clemeni Christorofou, who shares the role of Executive Co-Director with Sharon Bailey, and Margie Clay, who is the company administrator. The best way to describe ISIS would be family run, as Clemeni, Sharon and Margie all knew each other before they set up the company in 1999. They've never hired anyone else as they never felt the need to have more staff. With this being said, they never recruit anyone other than board members, who are all people with extensive knowledge of the council and the art world. My role whilst I was at ISIS was to help Margie in the day-to-day running of the company. This meant updating the website and making sure all calendars were up to date. Throughout my 8 weeks with the company, we only had one artist in residency. His name was Benjamin Pointer, and he was from America. He was an artist whose medium was video games. I liaised with him before he arrived, so when he came to do residency, he was at ease with me and wasn't worried about asking for my help. I didn't really get a chance to do a great deal on the side of filming or editing, which I was quite disappointed with. I had a vision of me starting this placement and being able to film all the art that was created and then edit it so the content could be used for their website. But the closest I got to that was when I was asked to film Ben's artist talk. All I had to film with though was an ancient handheld video camera, and to edit was the first ever version of Final Cut Pro. I was disappointed with my placement in that aspect. I expected an arts company to have some quite high-tech equipment to play around with and get some brilliant footage of my time on placement. The culture of the company was very laid back. Hours were flexible, so it was really easy to get time off if appointments came up or if you weren't feeling too well. My original hours when I started were 9 to 5, but Clemeni knew how far away Newcastle was, so she told me that it was perfectly fine for me to start at 9:30 and finish at 4:30, so I didn't have to deal with the overcrowded trains. Although the staff were very laid back, they still expected the work to be done in good time and to a good standard. For projects we were setting up, we didn't have a very long turnaround time, so we had to work really hard to make sure everything was done in the time frame we had and to a high standard, but that didn't mean we couldn't have a laugh and natter in the process. The pros of the company is that it's a very laid back and friendly environment. Everyone knows their roles and they do them to the best of their abilities. The office is a really comfortable place and centred around the kitchen, so everyone normally gravitates towards the kettle to have little meetings. The cons were when everyone was set on their own projects with deadlines looming, trying to get help or a new task set is virtually impossible and can be a little stressful. Also, although flexible working hours worked well for the most part, there were a few days when I was told I needed to stay back to set up for artist talks or gallery spaces for exhibitions, and I wasn't told about them until the day, so having a social life during the week was pretty tricky. ISIS could really improve themselves on social media. They have all these platforms on the web, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, but they never update them. They're really missing out as they could generate a wider audience by uploading more content than they currently do. I spoke to Clemeni about this before I left, and she thought it was a great idea for the company to take some time to see how social media can generate more audience and therefore profit. The top thing for ISIS, I think, is their communication. The door to the main office was always open, so you could pop in any time, and we all had Skype in our computers, so we could IM quickly and easily if we had a problem. I learnt a lot about myself from my time at ISIS. I realised I need to stop being as shy, and if I don't understand something or need more work, then I just need to ask. Towards the end, I started asking for more and more work because I was completing tasks they'd set me within the day, and I think they were really impressed with the speed I can complete work without compromising on the quality. It's finding the confidence to find my voice and let someone know. My people skills really improved whilst I was at ISIS. Before I started, I had problems engaging with people, and I was scared to speak up in case my ideas were laughed at. But throughout my placement, I learned that you won't get anywhere if you don't speak up.